whew, what a big 2 days. I've just finished up a photo shoot with a client for 2 massive days of shooting. The day has now finished and we're about 45 minutes out from sunset, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to hang around and hopefully a bit of nice colour happens tonight, and I'm just going to head up to one of the lookouts and yeah, see what we can find. Let's go. We're up at the Big Rock lookout. Well, almost there. We're in the car park. The lookout's about a 100-metre walk that way apparently, which is nice, not too far because my legs are aching. Look, there's a lot of wildlife out at the moment. A lot of kangaroos bouncing around, so I'm going to keep an eye out and see if I can get a shot of one of those. But well, yeah, it doesn't matter if I don't. I'm just here to enjoy the evening, in all honesty. So I might just get the gear out now, have a walk up to the lookout, and see what it looks like anyway, and yeah, see if there's any compositions I can think of for a nice sunset shoot. Let's get it. Here we are on top of Big Rock, and how's the view? Absolutely spectacular. And that sun is casting out yellow golden rays all over everything around here, including me. So just as a quick glance, the first thing that stood out as soon as I got up here was the main mountain behind me. It's getting lit by the sun at the moment. The sun's setting to my left, where it's probably 110 degrees away. We've got the mountain range. Now if there's gonna be colour in the sky, there's high wispy cloud above it, and that'll look nice and pink if the colour comes through. But what I'm thinking is the shot of the mountain itself would look good, but we've got a puddle on the ground just in front of me, just on the granite boulder I'm standing on. If I can get the camera pretty much down to ground level, I'm getting a beautiful reflection off that as well, which will double up the colour from that sky and the mountain range. So I want to try that composition. Now also, there's a couple of trees just over on the edge of the rock, looking out towards the sun. So I'm just going to go have a wander over there and see how they look. Because at the moment I've probably got about half an hour until the colour from sunset. So yeah, just going to have a look around and see what we can come up with.
Wish that I could stay. Wish for this moment to never go away. But it's all in my mind.
It's absolutely stunning view, looking out towards the sun where it's going to be setting. Beautiful trees as far as you can see, overlooking the edge of a big granite boulder, but there's just no foreground interest, so I'm not really keen on shooting out that direction. But facing back, as I mentioned, the mountain range just behind me, I'm going to try for that reflection I was talking about in the puddle. But there's also a nice shot from here looking towards the mountain, but I've got a bunch of boulders in front of me, and there's a couple little trees, and there's a tree and a couple little shrubs around it, which can add to a foreground interest. And I think this could look quite nice as well, especially if that sky lights up. So I'm just sort of thinking you're running probably around about 16mm, as wide as the 16-35 f4 lens goes, and a 3-stop graduated neutral density, and the circular polarizer from Nisi. That's about it. I don't really want to be running a long exposure because there is a little bit of a breeze up here, which is fluttering the leaves in this tree. So what I might do is I'll run one at ISO 100 or 200 to get as much clarity as I can. And if I still can't run a shutter speed fast enough and those leaves are still blurring, what I might do is bump the ISO up to say 800, get a shot to get those leaves still, and then blend that in later, just to try and sharpen it up as much as possible. Oh, sorry about my tongue twisting. As I said, knackered from the trip. What I'm going to do anyway is set the camera up now on the tripod and yeah, just have a few test exposures and see how it looks, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
You're a beautiful sight in the summer night, and you can't put up a fight in the misty light.
Alright, I'm all set up at the moment. As I said, what I'm running is the Nisi circular polarizer with the 3-stop graduated neutral density filter. The polarizer, look, I generally use all the time when I'm running the graduated, or the neutral density filters, sorry, because it's an absolute pain to get out of the holder system. It's really fiddly and the thread's really fine on it, so it's hard to unscrew and screw in, so I just tend to just leave it on and adjust the amount of polarization depending on the scene. So what I do in these sort of scenes is just adjust it to take a little bit of haze off the mountain, just bring those colours out a little bit more. It also darkens the sky just a little bit on one corner or the other of the frame. Because I'm shooting wide, if I try for too much polarisation, it leaves a big sort of deep blue divot in the middle of the sky, which just does not look good. Now, you saw me putting on my remote trigger. I generally run these in these situations, seascapes or where the wind's picking up a bit. Because with a 2-second time, which I'm normally happy to use, in these situations it's much easier just to click it as soon as there's a dip in the wind, or when the waves are crashing at the right time if you're seascaping. It's just a lot more control over it as opposed to just pressing the timer and hoping that the conditions stay as they are for that 2 seconds, which half the time it does. Alright, just getting the exposure right. I'm up to 1.3 seconds at f11 at ISO 200. I'd like to be faster shutter speed than that. I probably could bump it up to ISO 400. That'll halve it again, but look, it's not really going to make too much of a difference anyway. Alright, let's that wind's just died off for a second. Exposure done. Let's see how it came out. So I'm just going to quickly pack it all up, get over to that reflection now while we've got a tiny bit of colour in the sky, and we'll get that shot. Tell you what, it's rather chilly out here when that wind blows through. Oh, it's absolutely freezing. Alright, we've got that image. You can see my shonky little setup there. I had to get down low, basically sitting the camera on the ground. I've got the 3-stop graduated neutral density glass extending past the filter holder on the bottom, which is sitting on a pocket knife case. Now I've got some awesome reds and pinks happening over the direction of the sun. I'm just going to quickly bolt over to the tree, see if I can work something out, and yeah, find out in a sec. Nah, it's far too late to the party on that one. I've just the foreground's just shadowed. Unless I was doing a silhouette or something, it's just not going to work. But look, it's been nice to get out again. Just going to grab my gear and head back to the bag, which I left behind. Yeah, it's been a busy 2 days with work. Yes, actual paid work, which does take a precedence. I do apologise for it being a long time in between videos. I've just been busy with work, busy with the family. I've been out for a few shoots here and there, just out to the local beaches and stuff, but it's been with the family, I'll take a photo or two of the sunset, but I'm there to spend time with the kids and the wife, and yeah, so I just haven't really had time. And amongst all of that, I don't know if you noticed the car on the way up here tonight. I actually bought a new car. The Onpatrol Nissan Patrol has now been moved on to make way for a Toyota Prado. Now what I'm planning on doing is I'll do a vlog or two on the modifications I'm planning on doing to the Prado, because they are going to be very photography based. You know, electrical systems that I'm going to wire in, just bits and pieces to help me get to the places I want to get to for photography. And also on these client trips, I need a car that's capable of attacking the tracks when that's what the clients require. So I'll be putting together one or two over the coming, probably over the next month or two, as I do the modifications and build this car up into being a capable tourer again that the Patrol was. So until then, look, thanks guys for coming on this trip. Again, apologies it's been so long, but I'm glad I could finally get out and witness a sunset again. And yeah, glad I could bring you this video. Thanks again, and I'll catch you around. Cheers guys.